Chow when we believed that things were dialing back in Diddy's camp. Maybe he might need to add more stuff 'cause he has one more stunner on his hands, Bryshere Dimchild. We knew about Bryshere and Will Smith. And beforehand there were suppositions that what occurred with Will Smith occurred with Diddy. As well yet presently, there could be film out there affirming how Diddy did Bryshere. There have been a couple of visually impaired things expressing that Will Smith and Diddy forked Bryshere into freak-off meetings like the ones with Cassie. Despite his desire to the contrary, currently almost immediately in Bryshere's vacation. And in past meetings you can hear him alluding to individuals like Diddy and Will Smith as his tutors. And I realize that I have seen recordings of Will Smith saying that Bryshere was his mentee. He's encircled by a ton of solidarity, he's encircled by a ton of affection. And he should simply add discipline, and he's going to be okay anyway. It is currently accepted that the two men were doing what with Bryshere, all the while assuming a pretense of mentorship, and subsequent to trimming off his relationship with the two men Bryshere felt as though he was debased from the music business and Hollywood. With Will Smith, there have proactively been claims to a great extent that he was accomplishing such a great deal more than coaching Bryshere. Mild Plants Basher Dim went out shouting August, the one in particular that remained. And I surmise he was truly debilitated. He wanted the assist I with significance. Panther Wright even said that she by conversed with a lot of youthful rappers. And they let her that know whatever was happening in those gatherings that were being facilitated by any semblance of Will Smith and Diddy were sickening. I'm saying that due to the craftsmen that I just addressed in the relatively recent past that got welcome to a party at their home, everything was cool front and center till they went to the back. And there was a lot of old young men back there all stripped in the swim house, purportedly exactly the same things Bryshere was proceeding with Will Smith. He was likewise going through them with Diddy as a matter of fact as of late. There have been reports of a claim going around guaranteeing that Will Smith and Diddy contrived to disrupt Rashi's vocation and notoriety, and that they owe him $50 million in penalties. The claim, which was documented in Los Angeles prevalent court, claimed that Will Smith and Diddy were desirous of rasher achievement and ability, and that they utilized their leverage and associations with spread misleading bits of hearsay about him, boycott him from projects, and obstruct his agreements in the wake of utilizing him. The claim additionally blamed the two for them of arranging Bryshere's capture in 2020 when he was accused of DV after supposedly stifling his better half and declining to help out the police. You all recollect how that case was chaotic, right? Well, on the off chance that you don't remember, let me fill you shortly. So, when the episode happened, Bryshere at first would not emerge from the house, and a specialized squad and emergency discussions group must be brought in to help, and they ultimately brought him in to be interrogated. Now, it's rare for cross-examination tapes to spill yet Bryshere's cross-examination some way or another released, and that main adds to the hypothesis that it might have really been an arrangement. What's far more terrible was Bryshere's condition, 'cause all through the 2-hour interview Bryshere's record of what happened continually different. And he said he went to his companion John's home to play football, and in the end he was messaged or called by a neighbor telling him of a significant police presence at his home oak. And she was saying the police are outside, called her she like a ton of police outside police then. At that point, inquired as to whether Bryshere knew Jay's number, or then again on the off chance that he could let him know the location where Jan resided. Yet he said he didn't have the foggiest idea about the data, since he had met Jan only days before then. He began making a few charges about his better half, saying she had mental issues, and that they were in an open relationship. She has like mental issues, like with young ladies messaging me, we have an open relationship. A chick messaged me on the telephone, she could say, okay, I need to give you that B, I need to give that she, I could erase it. She actually see it some way or another. He was additionally let the police know that his significant other attempted to unalive herself multiple times. and he was simply attempting to prevent that from occurring. And he likewise said that the other individual named Imprint was the one harming his significant other anyway. As per his significant other, everything Bryshere was saying was not checking out in light of the fact that he had been determined to have bipolar confusion and ADHD, yet he wouldn't take his drug. And she additionally said that Imprint is a phony name rasher purposes, when he would rather not be perceived when he arranges food from lodgings again. Like I said, it was very sus that this cross-examination that totally embarrassed Bryshere was spilled. So it's conceivable that whoever spilled it knew precisely exact thing they were doing, which would back up the claim by Bryshere that the hold capture was coordinated potentially by Will Smith and Diddy. In any case, founded on the claim that was supposedly documented, Bryshere's legal advisor Michael Onnetti said in an explanation that his client was an objective of a malignant and composed crusade by Will Smith and Diddy, who he called two of the most impressive and malicious men in Hollywood. The legal advisor additionally said that Bryshere had proof to demonstrate his claims, and that he was looking for equity and pay for the mischief done to his vocation and notoriety, while sources near Diddy and Will Smith excused Bryshere's cases as ridiculous and silly, and said that they had no private or expert connection with him. They additionally called attention to that Bryshere has a background marked by legitimate difficulties and sporadic way of behaving, and that he was attempting to divert consideration from his own concerns by suing them anyway. Nothing has been formally delivered to the media, and these cases have not been confirmed by court records like Cassie's claim. Yet it could be coming soon sufficient chow. Every one of these might actually make sense of what occurred with Bryshere, 'cause for somebody who has such a splendid future, his destruction was miserable. I mean, other than the 2020 capture, which was supposedly set up in November 2022, Bryshere was captured again for conflicting with his probation cops, were called by a lady guaranteeing that she was dating him, and she let the official know that his way of behaving was raising, and she was worried for her security. The lady likewise guaranteed that Bryshere tossed a crate of food at her, pulled her hair, and she additionally enlightened cops regarding different occasions where he yelled her. And it wasn't only that, by the way, on the grounds that the police said that he had various spats with the policing, a homegrown related aggravation, called the earlier month Bryshere clearly neglected to illuminate his post-trial agent about those episodes, which is the reason he was hit with a probation infringement, and an adjudicator marked a warrant. And he was captured. Furthermore, there was one more claim from Bryshere's landowners, who said that they leased him an apartment suite inside their 4-unit Chicago complex. And they asserted that in addition to other things, Bryshere left his canine inside the townhouse for expanded timeframes. They asserted the canine was left unattended in like manor regions in the complex and peed, and crapped out of control, which fundamentally harmed the hardwood floor steps and different pieces of the property. Furthermore, they said Bryshere hopped all through windows, stopped up the latrines by flushing down condoms, smoke pot in the spot, while smoking was not permitted under the rent, and participated unsanitary movement. There have additionally been other various situations with regards to Bryshere, and presently individuals are saying that they comprehend the reason why he's twisting the injury of being compelled to partake in the oddity offs may have scared him too profound. And let me not even start with how he might have been engaged with Lee Daniels, who likewise acted like a guide. For what reason are we discussing me? I got to discuss yes-toing over with the yes to an extreme. And think about what Bryshere isn't the only one intending to drop more receipts on Diddy. Do you all recollect when YK Osiris was supposed to have been sincerely associated with